Hey guys, my name is Victoria Estrada and I'm the head sommelier of Dis&Dis. And today I'm going to talk about the relationship between wine and tea. Did you know that wine and tea are more similar than you think? There are quite a lot of similarities between wine and tea. For example, both drinks have been part of our culture of humanity for thousands of years. There is a growing body of evidence. In China, they were drinking tea thousands of years ago, as well as there is a growing body of studies that show that wine was part also of our culture thousands years ago. So wine and tea have been related and have been part of the humanity for thousands of years. Wine and tea have a lot of similarities depending on the terroir that the wine or the tea grows. The wine will have a complete different taste. For example, if a Cabernet Sauvignon grows in France or a Cabernet Sauvignon grows in Chile, it will be, even though it's the same grape, it will be a complete different bottle of wine. This also happens with the tea. Depending on the tea, for example, white tea from the slopes of the Himalayas in India or white tea grown in the Fujian province of China will be completely different. The winemaking techniques are very important because the know-how of winemakers and tea makers have a very positive impact on the quality of the tea or the wine. Tea and wine can be paired with food, so they are an accompaniment of our food dishes. Given all these similarities, it was about time that we added tea to our amazing portfolio of wines, in case our wine lovers want to go for the sober option. In this blog, I'm going to explain you the top 5 similarities between tea and wine. I've laid out here the wines, the different wines, and their tea counterparts. So first of all, I'm going to tell you the similarities. We will start about the terroir of the wine and the terroir of the tea. Terroir, as we all know, it's very important on the quality of the wine and also on how a wine tastes. For example, a Cabernet Sauvignon from France will have a complete different taste than a Cabernet Sauvignon from the New World, for example, Chile or South Africa. Even though it's the same grape, it will be a complete different bottle and a complete different wine. This also happens with tea. White tea planted in the slopes of the Himalaya will have a different taste than white tea planted in the Fujian region of China. So terroir is very important both for the tea and for the wine, as we all know. Also, another similarity that tea and wine have are the know-how of the winemaker and tea maker. The know-how of a winemaker can have a very positive impact on the quality of tea. Also, it happens with wine. The know-how of the winemaker has a very positive impact on the wine. That's why wines from the same grape, same region, from same countries, but from different wineries, even though the vineyards are close and next to each other, can be completely different. Because on the tea and as well on the wine, you can taste the vision of the winemaker on the final product. So the winemaker impact on the final product or the tea maker impact on the final tea is very important for the tea. Another similarity that we have is the food pairing. We can pair food and wine, we all know that, and we have similar different blogs that we talk about this and how to pair, for example, wine and fish, how to pair wine and meat, how to pair different wines with different types of food, and this versatility in food pairing. There are different dishes, and then depending on the tea that we want, the tea can enhance the flavors of the dish. Even though food pairing with tea is not as strict as food pairing with wine, we can learn some basic rules to have in mind. Also in tea, it's very important the temperature where we drink it. For example, if we drink the tea very hot, the tea will enhance the flavors of the dish. But if we drink tea at room temperature, then it won't enhance the flavors of the dish as much as the wine, because it will be more similar to water. So even though it's very important wine pairing and tea pairing, we can play a little bit more around it than with wine. And as I mentioned in other videos, food pairing with wine, you can experiment. We always say that it should be an experience, and you should experiment with the food and the wine to see what kind of flavors you like or which ones you don't. But there are some rules in order to not destroy the dish. So we talked about the similarities in the terroir, similarities in the winemaking techniques, similarities in the food pairing, and now we will talk about the similarities in the names of the wines. For example, here I laid out a champagne and Darjeeling tea. Darjeeling tea comes from the province in India, the West Bengal region in India. Darjeeling tea can only be considered Darjeeling if it comes from the Indian province of Darjeeling. Otherwise, it cannot be Darjeeling tea. Darjeeling is often considered the champagnes of teas. So that's why I put here also champagne. The champagne we have here, Canard du Chêne, and champagne, as you know, can only be considered champagne if it comes from the Champagne region in France. Otherwise, it should be considered sparkling wine. And you can have different sparkling wines with the champagne wines method, but champagne can only be considered champagne if it comes from the region in France. So this also happens with the Darjeeling tea in India. Also, for example, with names of wines, we can normally refer to a wine for its grape. For example, Chardonnay grape, or Pinot Grigio, or Merlot grapes. This is a way of referring to the wines. Another way to refer to the wines is for its region. For example, the Beaujolais region in France. Even though the wines from the Beaujolais region are from Gamay grapes, we normally refer to this kind of wines by Beaujolais. Can I please have a Beaujolais? Or I like Beaujolais wines. This is from the region of France. It also happens with Chablis. Chablis is the same concept. So Chablis wines are normally made with Chardonnay grapes, 100% Chardonnay grapes, but they come from the Chablis region in France, so we consider them Chablis. So this also happens with the teas. As we mentioned, the Darjeeling tea can only come from the Darjeeling area of India. Then we also, for example, have matcha tea. Matcha tea is a specific tea that has undergone some process, so that's why it's a matcha tea. So the names, as in wine, are different depending on the wines, and we can refer to different type of teas depending on the region or on the type of process that it has been through. So this also happens. And then, given that we have added our teas to our shop in order to accompany our wines, I'm going to give you the two similarities between the wines and the teas. So that's why we consider the tea the sober sibling of wine, because they are very similar. The only thing that they have different is the alcohol content. So let's start with Canard du Chêne and Darjeeling tea. As I mentioned before, Darjeeling tea can only be tea from the Darjeeling area in India. This also happens with the Champagne Canard du Chêne. Champagne can only be from the area of Champagne. So if you're looking for a bubbly drink, a very fresh drink, I would recommend the Champagne. And then if you're looking for a tea, a calming tea, I would go for the Darjeeling tea. Then we have here the turmeric tea. So the ingredients of this tea is turmeric, cinnamon, lemongrass, ginger, cardamom, black pepper, and bergamot extracts. So this is a great tea that comes from India. It's a turmeric spice. It's also an herbal tea, as you know. So the similar wine would be a very fresh, mineral, fruity Albarino from Rías Baixas. And this is 100% made of an Albarino. It's a great wine from Galicia. And you can pair it with seafood, and it's very fresh and fruity with mineral aromas. So it's a great fresh wine to have it with seafood or with white meats. Then we have oolong tea. Oolong tea is very popular because it has properties in order to lose weight and to fat burn. So it's a very soothing tea, very calming, and then that's why we found that the Pinot Noir, a very light-bodied or light medium-bodied Pinot Noir, easy to drink, will be the combination for the oolong tea. This Pinot Noir is from Luz Latour. It's light medium-bodied wine. It's a Pinot Noir. It's very it has fruity aromas and fresh aromas. And it doesn't have a very high alcohol content. It only has a 13% alcohol content. So we found that these two are a great match in case you are looking for the oolong tea, which is a very soothing and calming tea, with the sibling, which is a Pinot Noir from France. So if you're looking for a white tea, a very calming white tea, we recommend this one. This one comes from the Himalaya, from the slopes of the Himalaya mountains in India. So it's very elegant, very fine. It pairs great with a lot of food. And the sibling would be this white wine from Alentejo, from Herdade dos Grows. It's a fruity and mineral wine which pairs perfectly with fish, white meats, and it's very versatile. Then we have Earl Grey tea. It's one of the most recognized teas in the world. It's black tea. It's very calming and soothing, and then it also has powerful aromas. And it's great during the day or during the night. This is one of the most widely recognized tea. So for that, if you're looking for the sibling wine, we've chosen a Marqués de Murrieta. It's a very famous wine and a very popular wine in Spain. It's a very high quality wine. It's from Rioja. It has 14% alcohol content. This Marqués de Murrieta is made of Tempranillo grapes, 87% of Tempranillo grapes, 6% Graciano grapes, 5% Mazuelo grapes, and 2% Grenache grapes. It has been in barrels for 16 months in American oak barrels, so it's a great wine. This one, I would pair it with red meats, with beef and red meat, grilled red meat. And finally, we have this green tea. It's also from India. This green tea is made of green tea, spearmint, and peppermint. Given that it's a fresh tea, it's easy to drink, it pairs perfectly with all kinds of foods. It's great for the mornings. This tea also for during the day. Green tea, it's also very popular. So we've chosen Pau de Tirsos Chardonnay wine. It has aged in barrels, so it's a very special wine because white wines normally are not aged in barrels. But in order to give in the perfect balance and acidity, winemakers normally choose to put it in barrels in some very special white wines. So this wine is great. It's the wine sibling of the tea. You can find all of our wines in our wine store, Dis&Dis.com, and you can also find our teas in case you're looking for the sober sibling of wine. Also, we have some discounts up to 30%, and you can find great Spanish wine, Rioja wines, Toro wines, also French wines, Italian, all type of wines from all over the world, from the best renowned wineries and from also hidden gems, if you want to discover new wines. In our description, we have the description of all the wines and all the teas, so you can compare it and you can taste them together by yourself. And always remember that even though wine is a very fine experience and it's a great experience, you should consume wine in moderation. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel Dis&Dis.com.